We on live up.
Okay. Shalom Yasharala. It's Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming back at y'all with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honors the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. So today we're just going to go into how, AI is replacing a lot of jobs, but it's actually going to replace Jake. And that's ultimately Esau's fantasy, is to be able to have Jake work for him without actually having Jake. Because, these Edomites, they have a hatred for our people, but they need us. They need us to keep their society going. And Esau's wet dream is to be able to have a society where he can make money off of Jake, make money off the image and the talent of Jake without actually having to be around any Israelites. All right, you people of so-called Negro and Native Indian descent. And just a week ago, brothers were looking at this. They got this Eve. Esau isn't just replacing factory jobs and warehouse jobs. He's now about to replace social media influencers. All right, just random black women running their mouths and eating abominations on social media. That's being replaced by AI as well. So we know that this is eventually going to be used to destroy our people and ultimately come up against the men of the Lord. But we're not ignorant of his devices. You could start me with that, Corinthians.
So 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
We're not ignorant of his devices. And a lot of our people that aren't in the truth, they look at everything Esau does as being, an advancement in technology. Then they realize, wait a minute, this isn't an advancement. This is a step backwards. All right, we're taking humanity out of humans. All right, so this is. Let me share my screen real quick. You got the other one on your phone. We could share this one. There you go. All right, now this one right here. This looks like a so-called black woman. If you didn't know,
this about to get messy, but
that's what it is. But check this out.
Y'all, this about to get messy, but it's gonna be worth it. Nah, this hit no different. Y'all, this about to get messy.
Yeah, that's actually an AI generated nigga woman, man. And if you look close, like if you don't look close, you would just look at it and say this is a normal video. Social media is full of Israelite women eating abominations. So this is nothing new. This is just another video. Then you look carefully, you look in her left hand, you see dipping sauce just appears out of nowhere and then disappears. So this is witchcraft. All right. You see it just manifests and then it just disappears. This is a computer generated image. The voice is computer generated. Google just made up a so-called black woman. So, Jake be on the apps, there's gonna be Israelite men, just flirting with AI, thinking it's a woman, setting up dates, setting up secret rendezvous, sneaky links with a damn nigger, a bot pretending to be a woman, man. This
ain't catfishing no more. This is gonna be sharking.
Yeah,
niggas, if you was getting taken out by the party line and you sending $300 to abroad in another state, it's on another level now, man.
All right. Party line, Jake don't know about that.
I remember when I back in the day when I stayed in Houston, they got an ad when this is when the whole AI thing was just being talked about. What scammers was doing, all right, they were calling certain families, and they had the voice of their daughter or their son saying that they're in great danger. They need money sent to them, or whatever. They got into a wreck, and it sounded just like the person's son or daughter, and they was making bank off people, man.
Yeah. And that's going to continue, especially old people. Old people they're not really up on technology. So they're not even thinking, okay, this could be a whole computer simulation. But this actually looks better than deepfake, because what deepfake would do is they would take a video and superimpose somebody's face on top of an existing image or video. But this is completely computer generated. This isn't like a mix of reality and fiction. It's 100% fiction, and it's just made to look real, but it's not. It's all made up. You see Esau got the baby hairs glued to the forehead. He got Eve down to a science, man. Because what he's been doing, he's been using, social media, which is really just a central Apple database to track you Negroes' movements, or the way you talk, the way you move. And he's been gathering intel for the past, 15 years.
Then you see how fast she slurped that shit in her mouth, man. Come on, man. Look at this
Just
shit
disappeared.
right here. Sloop gone. Come on, man. I'm gonna show you another thing they're doing. They typing in their face how they want the picture to look.
Mm-hmm.
I want a 4K picture of my face doing this, doing that. It's just that fast, man. You can type in with these different generators, the AI generators of your face,
Mm-hmm.
reenacting the video or doing something, man. And that's the same shit right here. That's how dangerous it's starting to become.
Yeah.
I could say, too, a brother posted in our chat. It looked like it was over in, Israel with the small hats. You had them protesting, saying, "Hey, Iran, stop bombing us." And then one guy, if you look real closely, he was doing his hand like this, and a flag just magically appeared in his hand. But
Yeah.
it looked completely real. So outside of just these these little YouTube videos and stuff like that, we're really coming into the times where you got to question if the news I'm watching on TV, damn near everything I'm watching on TV is just all AI generated.
Watch this. I'm about to show you some.
Because whatever Esau is showing us like this with its defects, he's 10, 15 years in advance of what he's actually got behind the scenes.
Exactly.
But I got a preset for y'all.
You got it.
This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to read verses 9 to 12. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, this is a lying wonder, which when you go into that in the Greek, it's a pseudo miracle. This is a pseudo miracle to be able to make reality. Now watch this one. Hold that priest. I'm going to get right back to it. If you look at this, you can see she's got braces. She's kind of flat chested, but it looks like a real person. Now when you play it,
Eagle, and I still look cute. Look at her. She mad bougie too. She chasing me like I stole her.
all of a sudden the brace is gone. She got some little C cups going on, so it's still flawed. They're trying to make it. It looks real, but it's not at the same time. Like your brain is just being tricked into believing this. This is pure madness. They had one. Yeah, this one is crazy because this is actually, it has a YN, a AI YN in it.
And I still look cute. Look at her. She mad bougie too.
Here, let me close this one.
He's so mad, y'all.
Yo, what's good?
This is a fake YN. This isn't real. This isn't a real person.
As I got for him.
Oh.
So as I was saying, you will not believe what happened.
Yo, what is this? Are you serious right now?
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want me to do
Yeah,
another
so the
prank.
whole thing is like a prank. They're trying to mimic, how Jake be doing the little pranks. So this is like an AI prank, but you can see it's not real. Like her tattoos keep moving. They keep changing clothes. It goes from nighttime to daytime and back and forth. Like it's not perfect. But like Ryan just said, if they have this that they're giving to the public, you know what they have behind closed door. You know what they have in those chambers. I remember back in the 60s or 70s, they would have a giant room just full of just giant supercomputers. This was in the 60s. So imagine now, they just got acres full of servers that could do super processing. This is nothing. This is what they're giving to you, the common person. You could do something like this. So imagine what they could do.
They got it now to where AI is doing. AI is producing all just straight movies on its own. Even the cinematics of the movie, explosions and smoke, people talking, everything, man. That's how real this shit then got.
Yeah. You can read that Thessalonians again, Baba Gasha.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yeah, this is a lying wonder. And when you read Acts, matter of fact, if a brother can get it, Acts, I think it's 2. Basically, the apostles, they also did wonders, but they weren't lying wonders. They were real. So, anytime I look at something like this, it boosts my spirit because I know, okay, if the Lord is going to give something like this to the heathen on the left-hand side, how much more is he going to give his men?
I got one for you real fast. This is 2 Corinthians 11:14. It says, and no marvel, but Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light.
God. And that really goes into everything. This devil has actually convinced our people that, he's a Christian, he's a good person. Then he has the people that don't believe in the scriptures, he's convinced them that he's a real scientist, he's a real doctor, a real physician, and he's this smart, highly advanced person, but he's really moving people backwards. This is actually backwards. You're trying to duplicate a normal human interaction when the Most High already created man and woman. Like, what are you doing? This isn't a step forward. This is foolishness. Yeah, it was it's Acts 2:43.
I got one. I got another one too.
Yeah, I still have some in 2 Thessalonians too.
Come on. You finish that out.
We even get it real fast.
Which one, the Acts or the? You can finish the 2 Thessalonians.
I had one in I had another one in Ephesians.
Come on.
This is Ephesians 11. My bad, 6 and 11. The point is in 16. It says, well, I get to the point. Ephesians 6 and 16 says, and above all, take the shield of faith, wherein ye are able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And it's the part of those fiery darts, man. He start coming with.
Yeah. And, as the brother's going to, when he continues reading in Thessalonians, he's going to tell you that there are a lot of our people that are going to be deceived because they don't have the love of the Father. So when you're able to see through things like this and the Lord is, giving you his spirit of discernment, that's a part of his love. That's a part of him saying, look, things are going to get crazy out here, but you're going to be shielded. You're going to be covered in his wings.
What did it say? And if it were possible, even the very elect would be deceived. So that's just going to show how great the deception Esau's about to come with.
Yeah.
If the spirit wasn't dealing with you, dealing with us, we'd just be completely consumed by it.
Yeah. That's why it's so important to have the true doctrine, because once you have the true doctrine, you know that basically Esau's playbook. All right. The Lord's actually giving you insight into everything Esau is going to do. So when he does it, if you're in the spirit, the proper spirit, you're going to be like, okay, that's the minute the Lord said that was going to happen. All right, clearly that's not what it is. So we're going to be, like you just said, it's not going to be possible to deceive the elect, but 2/3, including, people in these false camps, they're going to be deceived by things that they see on the news. They're going to think certain things are real. That's AI. Like the brother say all the time, if you see a video of Yakina hanging with some niggas, you're going to be like, man, that ain't real. Because okay, that don't make no sense.
And you got to think too, because we know some of us are going to be rounded up, by the authorities. They may show you a video in the interrogation room of a brother, turning you in. It's going to be at the point where it's like, look, I want him to walk into the room right now and I want to see him face to face and see he said this. Esau's about to come with all the dirtiest, low down tricks he can think of.
Even a sense of, that's why it's important to know your brother. It get to the point where you get a phone call and the brother is trying to tell you to come someplace. It's unusual for them to say something or act like this, but they're trying to get you to come somewhere where they can grab you up, man.
Yeah, but it'll be his voice.
Yeah,
you might see a video of the apostles. You see the apostles talking about, man, the name of the Lord is Yeshua, is Christ. You be like, wait a minute, that ain't Apostle Gabar. What the fuck? That ain't. Whoa, that ain't real.
You see the garment switch to a different color real quick and go back to the regular color.
It's like, wait a minute, why does Apostle Dahar have 6 fingers? What's going on? This ain't real. Yeah.
But this is back in 2 Thessalonians 2:10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, the Most High shall send them strong delusion that they
Right.
should believe a lie.
Strong delusions that they shall believe a lie. And that's what's going to be on the media 24/7. All right. When the famine of the word hits and you're not going to be able to receive the truth, on YouTube, anywhere, you're going to see nothing but lies. First of all, you're still going to see Hebrew Israelites on YouTube, but they're all going to be fake. Some of them are going to be computer generated images. Some of them are going to be false camps set up by the government. But the truth is going to be complete. You're not going to be able to find it. If you don't have it by then, that's it. Everything you're going to see is going to be a lie.
Next verse. Verse 12. That they all might be damned who believed not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness.
And that's what's going on right now. There's the truth that's going out, and there's some that don't have pleasure in it. They have pleasure in lies, and the Lord's going to give you over to those lies. All right, right now is the time when you hear the truth, you hearken unto it, you repent, you study the scriptures earnestly, you try to get built up so that your faith could be established in that day. But then you have some people that are taking this thing as a joke, as a game, and when the actual truth is removed from the internet, they're going to be left with nothing but AI bots and liars and false teachers, and that's it. And a lot of them are going to be serious in that day. They're going to look, I'm going to get it now. I'm going to get it now. But all you got to go to is a bunch of false teachers and bots and just weirdness.
Do you mind if I read something real quick?
You got it.
This is this is an author I've read a few novels of in the past, Philip K. Dick, which the majority of his work is science fiction and deals with people living in pseudo realities, like just completely, like the story may start off in one place, but by the end of the story, the person's found out they've lived in a completely artificial, manipulated reality. They can't. It gets to the point when you're reading the book where you can't like, you question like the situation that the character's in because it takes so many twists and turns.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a description on the AI overview, at that. Philip K. Dick novels primarily explore the nature of reality, identity, and the human condition, often through the lens of science fiction. His works frequently feature characters grappling with artificial realities, government control, and the blurring lines between human and machine.
That's it right there. And ultimately, that's witchcraft. When you try to alter someone's sense of reality, you're a witch. All right. And the scriptures are clear on witchcraft. It's a sin unto death. And Esau is the top witch. All right. He's deceived the whole earth, as it tells you in Revelation. He's deceived the earth, man. You didn't lie to the world, man. But this is just an extension of that. There's one more I wanted to show. All of these are fake. None of this is real. All right. All fake. This is just made up. And it's really, like, when you look at this one, this almost looks real, and then you realize the cork is still on the bottle, and then the wine just comes off. But other than that, you'd be like, man, look, this is another social media Eve. This shit, they're replacing, and really it's about replacing Jake, man. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, anything our people are involved in. A lot of these sporting events, you're going to be looking at AI LeBron, just a total replacement of our people, because this man, he loves what our people do, but he can't stand our people. So if he can find a way to make money from Jake without having to pay a Jake, I could just type in a machine, okay, 6'7" athletic black man jumps from, he'll just do it. He's not about to run up and down the court. Nobody want to see that.
Yeah, that's why because really at this point, that's why I had that video about a week ago I did with the whole AI. That's why it was saying in the video, in the documentary, that it's not really about you or your parents. It's really about your children, and children that come after them. They can easily be indoctrinated. They can, because right now the children today, they don't know about people of the past that we grew up on. That's why it's easy for Esau to say, "Oh, Michael Jordan was an Edomite." You know what I'm saying? You look at it. If we had time here, how Esau wanted the next 30 years or so, 20 years or so, he can say that. He can say that Michael Jordan is an Edomite, LeBron James, and certain pivotal people that came up in his time, they wasn't Jakes, you know. He could change their color, the whole landscape and makeup about him and everything, man.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali, Tupac, they're all white boys. That's ultimately what he does with history, man.
Right.
Yeah, if you can give me the you have more on that, Ryan?
Oh, that's it.
If you can give me the Acts 2:43.
I got it. This
You
is
start
Acts,
at 42.
this is Acts 2 and 42. And they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in the breaking of bread and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles.
Right. And many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. And brothers say this all the time. You know, we're in Acts 2.0. So this is going to happen again. There's going to come a point where the Lord is going to put his spirit on men to perform actual miracles. In the same way our people look at Esau's miracles with wonder and, wow, how's he able to do that? That's coming to the men of the Lord. All right. Men are going to be performing miracles, healing people, destroying the enemies of Yasharallah. This is going to happen.
Hey,
Oh, you got it.
if I could say real quick, that's the spirit eye. I didn't even think about this until you got that Acts. That guy Philip K. Dick, he wasn't in the truth. I think he was Irish though. He said we're living in the times of Acts again, and America is Rome all over.
And that's crazy. You know, the apostles have been doing videos asking ChatGPT various questions, and ChatGPT gets a lot of things right. You know, they understand who the Israelites are. ChatGPT knows that America's Babylon. They know this place is going to be destroyed with missiles. And, you know, certain people that's not in the truth, they know that this is Rome all over again. There's all kind of articles and videos comparing America to Rome. So how did Rome fall? All right. Well, America's falling the same way. But what happened when Rome was falling? You had miracles being done by the disciples. That's going to happen again. But this time we're not going to flee into the mountains. All right. There's not going to be a 70 AD. We're going to put up that strong defense, and the Lord's going to lift up a standard. All right, we don't lose this time. You know, Acts 2.0 is a victory for the elect, starting with Yahushua. That's the spirit. Because what did Acts open with? Acts 1:6 is now the time to restore the kingdom to Israel. Well, when Yahushua comes back, the answer is yes. It is time. It wasn't time 2,000 years ago, but it's that time now. Brothers in Army. Oh, you got it.
Speaking of Acts 1 and 8, after they had asked, is this the time? But Yahushua said it wasn't the time. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost has come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in all Judea and in Samaria and unto the uttermost parts of the earth.
You shall receive what?
You shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost has come upon you.
Okay. So the men that have the Ruach Qadash, the Holy Spirit, they're going to receive power. And that's going to happen all over Babylon. It's going to happen in different parts of the world, but the centerpiece of salvation is Babylon. So right here in America, you're going to see men given power, and it's going to completely eclipse this. This is just some left hand, some digital. Look, Esau done created a big baby, man. he wants to just replace Jake with, he got a YN. There's actually going to be power given to men. That's real power. This is fake power. This is all fake. As soon as you turn your phone off, turn your computer off, the pixels just go away. It's not real. All right, the men of the Lord are going to be manipulating elements, doing actual physical miracles.
It just shows you too that Esau has you Jake's down pat, man.
Yes.
Right. When you play those video games like Grand Theft Auto and how Jake acts when you go to the hood where Jake live at on that game, and they have you down to a science, man. And now they have inserted your attributes, your ways, and different things things you would do, things you would say, wear your clothes and makeup. Now they inserted into a computer system where it has you down to a science, man. All right. Hey man, we finna go into some dangerous, rocky times, man. With this. They're finna do some things with this here.
Yeah, and that's how you know the Lord's on his way back, because there's no way the current generation could grow up in a world where you have no idea whether or not you're looking at a real person. A man could be a woman could be a man with a bot just typing words. Yeah, comb your hair like this. Like, what are you doing? You a whole dude pretending to be a woman. That's a computer. That's crazy, man. The Lord's definitely about to deliver us. Or he's not going to have our sons and daughters growing up with fake babies. You think you're looking at a man? This is all generated, just all made up. Pure madness, man.
I got one real fast.
This
is it don't matter. This is Matthew 24:22. It says, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
The days are being shortened, and they have to be. It says for the elect's sake. There were no, you wouldn't be able to save anybody if this world would have continued, because things are just getting worse. Everybody would be a sodomite. Everybody would have all sorts of, diseases and plastics and everything in our body. We're being defiled every second that we're here. There's no salvation outside of Yahushua. So people that don't believe, man, they're bugged out. But those of us that do believe, we know, man, we right around the corner. If Esau's pulling stunts like this, how much more, near is our salvation? But if the brother can get Micah 5 and start at 11, Baruch Gashah.
Micah 5 and 11. And I will cut off the cities of thy land and throw down all thy strongholds.
Mm-hmm.
And verse 12. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers.
Right. And this is going into Babylon the Great, what the Lord's going to do. It says, I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand. All right. There's going to come a point where Esau is not going to have this technology anymore. He's just going to be what he is, a cave dweller. He's going to be in caves and pits and holes. All right, this is his last hurrah. He's going to try to, going back to that Thessalonians, he's going to try to deceive everyone he can with lying wonders and miracles. But the Lord said he's going to cut it off. Keep going.
Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands.
Right. Nobody's going to worship the works of these Edomites anymore. All right. This great technology. Oh, you're going to be able to put your whole life on a C-hip, and we're going to have your records. We're going to have your financial information, your medical history. Everything's going to be so convenient, and people are just clapping like fools. All right. Injecting their children with madness. He's going to cut all that off. Keep going.
Verse 14, and I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities.
Mm-hmm.
And I will execute vengeance in anger and in fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard.
Right. There's going to be a vengeance executed on these Edomites that they've never seen before. And that starts with the elect getting that power. All right. He's going to give us that power, and that transition in Sirach, the 10th chapter, all right, it's going to happen. That's because of unrighteous dealings. All right, the kingdom is going to be translated from lying wonders and fake pseudo miracles like this to a royal priesthood of men that have power to perform actual miracles, and that includes just putting you Edomites where you belong. All right, some of you are going to survive World War III. Those of you who aren't in America, you're going straight into slavery, because this is crazy. You didn't duplicated Jake to the point where you have people watching skits thinking it's real people, and it's a whole bot. This YN isn't even a real person, man. Jake got digital YNs.
Yeah, he eat the fries, and then a number of chicken wings come out of his goddamn hands, man. Come on.
Then the hoodie switched over. Is not this is crazy. But yeah, we can get that Isaiah 40:47.
Let's see.
Started 9.
You want to get it, or you want me to get it?
I'll get it.
You get it if you're there.
It says, Isaiah 47:9 says, but these two things shall come shall come to thee in a moment, and in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. All right, they shall come upon thee in thy perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thy enchantments.
Yeah, the multitude of thy sorcery. This is one of those sorceries. All right, having people believe that, because when you watch a human being, when you watch someone's eyes, their eyebrows, their facial expressions, you build a connection with that person. That's a normal human interaction. So when you take a bunch of pixels and you just make up a person that looks like, or something that looks like a person, that's witchcraft, man. That's sorcery. All right, this is high level witchcraft. It's not cool. It's not, oh wow, that's awesome. No, this is demonic. They have something called I think it's called the still face experiment. Basically, like they took some children and they had, this was decades ago. They had some children, and then the mother would she would not respond. Like the child would smile. Normally, a child smiles, you smile back. No matter what the child did, the mother just had a still face, and it bugged out the babies because it's completely against human nature for you to be trying to have an interaction with somebody and you're not talking to a human. It's a still face. So how much more a robot? You got these the brother, I forget which brother, he posted it in the chat. It was like a robot that was trying to talk like Jake. He was like, I like your clothes, I like your swag. It was a robot, but he was trying to.
And name was Jake. The robot name was Jake too.
Yeah. That's witchcraft, man. Like what would possess you to do that, man?
I'm gonna try to
He's
find
the devil. He can't get right.
Let me see some.
I got one for you.
Kind of.
Yeah, more than Isaiah.
Yeah, there's more in Isaiah. We can come back to it though.
This backs up that Isaiah. This is Nahum 3. I'm gonna start at 4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts.
Yeah, that's America. This place doesn't exist without evil, without deceit, without lying. All right, what is America without deceit? What is America without blatantly lying to the world? This whole system is based on a series of lies. First and foremost, that you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans aren't God's chosen people. All right, that's the first lie. Then you have this idea that so-called white people is a thing. There's no such thing as a white race. Those are Edomites. That's another lie. That's just two lies right there. Once you expose those two truths, it's like, okay, damn, everything's a lie. Okay, these people over in the homeland, that's not the real people. All right, we're all going to war over a lie. The country, all your sons and daughters, they're about to die over a lie, man.
Verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and will shew the nations thy nakedness and the kingdoms thy shame.
Yeah, and that's what's happening. All right, when you go back to that Second Thessalonians, when you start up a verse earlier, it tells you that they're going to be exposed through the spirit of his mouth. All right, his skirt is being lifted. Esau can't hide anymore. He's trying to hide behind this and that, but everybody knows he's an Edomite. It is what it is.
Let me see some.
What was that in Revelation? You can get 20 Babu Shah.
20 and
You can start at 7.
This is Revelation 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison.
Now that's talking about the Renaissance era. All right, this isn't talking about Satan being a beautiful angel that fell out of heaven because he was jealous of that's all fairy tales. All right, the actual Bible that tells you that Satan and the dragon is the Roman Empire. There you go. That's another one.
Shit, crazy, man.
Got third world AI, man. When it come a long way.
Shit's getting out the way.
Yeah.
They did the whole thing with the babies and shit,
They made a whole video from it?
Yeah, they got a bunch of them,
James.
What?
They got a bunch of that shit though.
Man,
Always using Jake though.
yeah, it's always Jake. Because Esau knows who has the salt of the earth. You want to make people watch something, you want to make people laugh, or you want to sell a product, you got to put Jake at the forefront. So now it's like, well, look, I don't have to pay these niggas. I have a technology where I could use Jake without having to hire Jake. I don't have to be around Jake. I can just type it in a bot.
And that's what they call it when you have a corporation. You got it's something with diversity. That's your it's some diversity, man.
Yeah, diversity hiring.
Yeah,
DEI.
Yeah, there you go, right there. You just insert AI there, fake people, and you can just run a company without having to be around these niggas, man.
Yeah,
I'm cool with black people. I hire black people.
Yeah,
we hire number AI.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of black-owned companies that's nothing but Edomites controlling AI. It's like, okay, the models are black, the CEO's black, the vice presidents, everybody's black. But it's really an Edomite that's just got a bunch of fake niggas, man. AI niggas.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted. And it got you, Jake's, your accent down, everything. I'm going to show it, the one you were talking about.
Who got the best chicken in Boston? Tax, Blue Store, Plank Road Market, or SNY? What y'all think?
She's not
Who
real.
got the best chicken in Boston? Tax, Blue Store, Plank Road Market, or SNY? What y'all think? Who got the best chicken in Boston?
So now all of these Eves that's on social media every day that get in their car and just start complaining about nothing. You have bots that can do that now. So it's like, how are you going to make a living or whatever you were making on YouTube, TikTok? Somebody could just go and Google AI and just make an Eve, just make a so-called black woman.
And a lot of these pages, it's fake pages now. Look.
If Keon is out there listening, what would you like to tell him?
Bitch, when I find you, I'm gonna turn you everywhere but loose, fat, broke ass.
If
AI.
Keon is out there listening, what would you like to tell him?
Bitch, when I find you, I'm gonna turn you everywhere but loose, fat, broke ass.
Y'all better not be eating them hard ass crawfish. Crawfish season is over.
It's fake.
Yeah.
It's just something about that song.
All that shit fake. All of it. It's AI shit.
Lying wonders.
Yeah, got down here, AI.
Man.
Through, man.
Yeah, if you don't have this truth, you're gonna get taken. Like, what happens when it's not just TikTok videos and YouTube shorts? It's actually on the news. You're seeing somebody that looks like we're the Hebrew Israelites. We come in, we can out. It's time to implement the plan. You just start talking about some wild T activity. You know, if you don't have the truth, you're gonna be like, man, yeah, I knew those guys were up to something. I knew those black Hebrew Israelites were planning something. They're really gonna believe that. That's what that scripture that goes, them that persecute you, they're gonna think that they're doing the Lord's work. Esau's gonna have it set up to where it actually looks like we're the bad guys and he's the hero. Here it is. He's been killing people for 2,500 years straight, lying to the whole world, as it's gonna tell you in Revelation. But he's now the good guy. I'm gonna save you guys from those evil black Hebrew Israelites. That's gonna be his narrative. And if you don't have the truth, you're gonna believe it.
Back in Revelation 20, verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth.
Yeah, shall go out and deceive the nations. And that's what he did. And that's what he's still doing. Esau doesn't know how to do anything but lie. Even when he tells the truth, he's still lying. There's no truth in his spirit. His spirit is not upright. So even if he'll, like, for example, he'll say Negroes or Jews, and then he'll go right back into saying, you know, so we got to help out the Jewish people. And it, like, he'll like, what? Wait a minute. You just said we're the real Jews, but then now you're saying we need to help Israel. Total madness, man.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go forth speaking lies as soon as they be born.
Yeah. And if you notice, none of Esau's technology has anything to do with creating life or forwarding life. It's all destruction. It's all deceit. It all makes you sick. You know, 4G, 5G, it gives you it destroys the fabric of your seed. All right, you're carrying around this device in your pocket all day, and it's destroying you, man. But then Jake is like, oh, technology is so advanced. If it's advanced, why is it killing you? Why is it killing the earth?
And with this AI shit, man, Esau's finna do the dash and wickedness, man. He's finna do the whole dashboard.
Yeah.
All right, he's finna wall out with this shit on a tip of all right persecution, on a great tip of deception. All right, because he don't even need actual people doing it. He can put a bunch of jakes lined up in the line and saying these are the people that's getting chipped. You know.
Yeah.
And then deceive or everybody else. Because you got one thing about America and the people in America, everybody rolls in a pack mentality. So if anybody else doing something, hey, I'm gonna get down and do it, man. And like I said, Esau don't even need crisis actors no more. He can have AI to do it.
Yeah.
Right? To say it, get your top politicians, your top celebrities to get them to say what he wants them to say,
Yeah, 5 years ago when they had the pandemic, when you turn on the news, you see hospitals full of bodies, you see gurneys and cots full of people. Then you drive by a hospital, it's empty, the lobby empty. It's just like what
no
the hell is
ambulance.
going on?
Yeah, all the ambulance parked in front of the door and shit, man.
Yeah. So now, the next event that's going to happen, all he has to do is just show a video of people running, screaming, explosions going off. Have a AI newscaster sticking a AI microphone and some innocent bystander, which is also AI. It's going to be a whole production, man. And if you don't have the truth, you're going to look at that and be like, man, we got to go to war with Iran. We got to go to war with Russia. Look what they just did. They just did this. Man, that was fake. The whole thing was fake.
Hey, that's why, because you got videos out there from 9/11 when people that was ground zero of it, and back then they only had camcorders, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And the phone quality of videos wasn't that much, but you heard audio of people saying, oh, it wasn't no planes never hit the building, it was explosions. So that's why they want to get rid of, really and truly, that's why they want to get rid of sites like TikTok and Instagram, because you have people that can instantly give you news on the spot of what's going on. They can go live with their phones.
Yeah.
Right. And that's a part of them. They can't really deceive everybody as they want to,
Yeah.
They need platforms like that to go away. All right. Because you have people that can give an eyewitness account. All right. Or even on TikTok, you can save the video. Like if somebody instantly did something, you can save it or you can screen record it. And they want things like that to go away, man, because it really can get to the point of exposing their next move, Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember when YouTube first hit the scene before it was acquired by the alphabet C to the I, when it was just a company with random people uploading videos, there was like thousands of those zeitgeist movies and, firsthand eyewitness accounts, engineers, people it was just flooded with truth. You'd be like, man, I was down there when it happened and, building 7, that was clearly, controlled. They would just go through. It was undeniable evidence that, that was a false flag. And, Esau doesn't want that to be widespread. He dwells in deceit. He needs lies to be believable. So like the elder was just saying, something where you have a platform where people could just take out a smartphone, they're on the news saying one thing. Yeah, downtown there was just boop, 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 boop. Someone goes live from their phone. I'm actually downtown right now, panning the camera around. There's nothing like that going on. It's like Esau can't have that, man. Because right now, everybody in the world has access to just upload where they are. You can't just make up something and, there's people. Wherever you're saying that something that took place, there's a person that's actually right there. Like, wait a minute, I can just turn my phone on and debunk what's on the news.
Yeah, like that, the situation with the pen and the guns, the Pentagon, all right, they show people had businesses and houses with camcorders, not camcorders, but surveillance system showed a plane never hit that building. Yeah. And then they say, oh, the heat was so hot that it disintegrated the bodies, but we was able to confiscate fingerprints and the thing with the little teeth. Didn't get the DNA and see what it was and shit. But you tell me jet fuel disintegrated steel engines
and forged
aluminum, man. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Then they had the like there's multiple businesses and gas stations that was across the street, and they surveillance just miraculously. Oh, the camera wasn't on that day. It wasn't working. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, then they say that this guy who was one of the worst fire. He couldn't even fly a small plane, let alone a big one. He makes a move in the sky to turn that plane at a certain rate and drive. He was then driving flat on the ground like a plane, like a car, man, and ran into the building, man. You know, but you people eat that shit up. You know, you different, especially you different patriotic Americans out here. You believe anything that the TV says. Right? That's why I say a lot of this shit. It gets to the point you can't believe a damn thing. You got to triple check. Like I said, I didn't got fooled by AI. I'm like, damn, you know, this shit looks so real to where now, you know, you got to triple check everything, man. You got to really take a deep look into what you're looking at on the TV. You know, because same thing. I know y'all better seen the video with Andrew Tate. I made some of the same similar points. The war that's going on. You haven't seen. Tel Aviv is a big major city over there. All right, but you haven't seen in that big major city. You've seen all type of shit coming from the sky, hypersonic missiles hitting the city, but you haven't seen bodies. You haven't seen wounded, the children, nothing. You know, they just told you that something going on. They told you that rockets are being shot in the city. You know, you haven't seen a damn thing. You got it out.
And when the death toll actually happens, it's gonna be crazy. Like that. What was that? A wedding and where was that? Turkey? Where that happened?
It was Turkey.
It was Turkey. Yeah, you had it was a wedding, and you just see smoke and dust just coming as a wave. It's like, man, when you see the actual death and destruction, and you start hearing the screams, that's gonna be televised. All right, Jake got that. You know, the Black Panther Jakes. The revolution will not be Man, Jacob's Trouble is gonna be televised. World War III is gonna be televised. The actual death and brutality of what's coming, man, is everybody's gonna see it, and it's gonna be this is the real deal. The men of the Lord are gonna be like, okay, that's actually real. That ain't AI. That niggas got killed.
Right. It's gonna be just that real, man.
Yeah, we can get back to that Isaiah 47.
Okay.
Read on down to I guess 13.
It's Isaiah 47 and I read 9. So I'm gonna get 10. It says, For thou hast trusted in the wickedness. Excuse me. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it has perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me.
Yeah, that's the spirit of these Edomites, man. They think they're the Most High. They think that because they can create an artificial reality, that they're basically gods. Okay, if the Most High can create reality and I can create an artificial reality, then well, that makes you an artificial God, man. And that's why the real God, all right, is sending back his son to show you that you don't have any power whatsoever. You're a fake God with a digital Godhead, man. And you're gonna be taken out of power. You can get 11.
Yeah, it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off. And what it says, and desolation shall come upon thee. Come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
Right, it's going to happen suddenly. All right, his enterprise. All right, when he goes to fill his belly, there's going to be an upset in the game, pretty much. All right, it's going to look like Jake is down by 30 with 10 seconds to go, and Jake just going to start hitting 3 after 3 after 3. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? Whoa, we're about to experience the comeback of that's the greatest comeback that's ever been seen in human history. A bunch of people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans at the very bottom of society. These Edomites, they're about to fulfill their enterprise. And they're going to be destroyed suddenly. That we have full confidence in that. And if you don't have faith in the scriptures, what is your hope? You can't look at a so-called Negro and be like, man, these guys are about to come into power. There's no carnal indication that we're about to rule. You would have to see in the spirit. Okay, brothers getting raised up, brothers getting into the scriptures, All right, you got Esau. He's losing control of his woman. He's losing control of the narrative. A spiritual man can see, okay, Esau is about to come out of power. But to a carnal man, it's going to be suddenly. It's going to be in an instant. Like what's the scripture that says, "I behold Satan fast as lightning."
Yeah, follow as lightning.
Yeah, that's how it's going to be.
It says, verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee, okay, I read that one. 11. 12, it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou, if so be thou shalt be able to profit. All right. And it says, and if so, thou mayest prevail.
Right. It says, stand now with your enchantments and the multitude of your sorceries. Like just keep doing what you're doing. All right. Go to your economists, go to your what do they call them? Ogres, the people that are over, like the Freemason niggas. All right, all of these people that you trust in to tell you what's gonna happen in the future, stand with them. See if they can give you some good news. What do you say?
The Magi's of this time.
Yeah. Yeah, see if they can give you some good news about saving your precious America or building your fake NWO. All right, we know through the scriptures what's going to happen. Yahushua is going to come back, completely wipe out your armies, and you're going into slavery. You're not going to be able to get around that. You can't get out of your judgment. You read 13.
Yeah, 13. It says, and thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Yeah. So the Most High is, he's talking big shit basically. He's saying, look, get these people you trust in, see if they can save you, see if they can counsel you, see if they can help you. And we know the answer is they can't. It doesn't matter how much technology you have, doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter how much the minds of the people that you have fooled, you're not going to upset prophecy. You're going into slavery. You're going down. You're going into slavery. That's what's going to happen because that's what's written. You chopping up.
Oh, am I good?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, I just said I had a quick one to back up Isaiah 47.
You got it.
This is Isaiah 19:3. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that have familiar spirits and to the wizards.
That's beautiful. The spirit of Egypt is going to fail, man. And your wizards, going back like the elder said, your magi's, these people that they drink blood and engage in certain activities that if you explain to a person, they'd be like, you're crazy. There's no way. But yes, the people, the upper echelon of this society, they're a bunch of wizards, warlocks, magi's, and ultimately, PDF files, man. That's where they get their power from, Satan. So the Lord is he's mangled a perverse spirit and he's deceived these people into thinking that their enterprise is actually going to come to fruition, which you got to be deceived. To know you're an Edomite, to know we're the Israelites, and to know the Lord's raised us up, and you think you're going to somehow upset prophecy, the Lord has you under a strong delusion.
That was it on this one, right?
There was more on that Isaiah 19?
Oh, no, that was it on Isaiah 19.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that was it.
I have another one, too.
You got it.
This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure.
Perfect. And that goes right along with the Thessalonians, because wisdom and knowledge is going to be our stability. To know, okay, we have the truth. We know what the Lord says he's going to do. We know the final prophecies leading up to Yahushua is coming back. So what I'm seeing on the news, that don't sound right. There's something off about that. That wisdom and knowledge is going to be so super important in that day, because if you don't have the full understanding of prophecy, you're not going to be grounded. You're not going to be solid. You're going to see something, hear something, not know, is this true? Is this false? The men of the Lord are going to know, okay, that's a lie. Okay, I'm not going to listen to that. okay, this is the truth right here. We're going to be guided by the Rakak Wadash. And if you don't have that, you're not going to be stable.
No. Let me see something.
You looking for one?
Yeah, better.
You know how I go?
No, I was just looking. Looking. Yeah. I was trying to do one else off what he got, but don't worry about it.
God. Yeah, that was all I had.
That's cool. You said something?
Yeah, I just had, one more. Nobody
There you
else had something. Just to back up that Isaiah 33. This is 1 Peter 5:8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Yeah, and that hasn't changed. All right. This devil has always been trying to fool our people. And again, if you don't have that wisdom and knowledge, it's going to work. He's going to listen, Esau, one thing he knows for certain is that this is his last hurrah as a chosen in Revelation 12:12. He knows he has a short time. He's about to throw everything at the wall to see what sticks. He's about to throw the kitchen sink at Jake. He's going to do everything in his power to upset prophecy. He's going to kill a lot of our people. He's going to deceive all of our people that aren't of the elect. Like the brother read earlier, if it were possible, he would have deceived the elect too. But it's not possible.
That's right.
Brother, had anything else?
No, that's probably about it.
Yeah. Lord willing, the point has been made. Stay prayed up. Keep reading, keep watching videos, stay tapped into the body. So when these things come, you'll be able to have that discernment to know, okay, this is reality, this is fake, this is real, this ain't real, this is a lying wonder. And Lord willing, we get out of here and we get the actual wonders. All right. So with that, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Bahashadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Shalom.